I can't keep quiet on Palantir stock any longer, because what's happening with PLTR right now is not normal market noise. It's a turning point that long-term investors, short-term traders, and even skeptics need to understand clearly. Today I'm breaking down Palantir in a way most people won't, cutting through hype, fear, and confusion, and explaining why this stock continues to spark intense debate across Wall Street. If you're watching PLTR, holding it, trading it, or thinking about avoiding it completely, this video is for you. Let's start with the reality. Palantir Technologies is not a traditional tech company, and that's exactly why it confuses so many investors. Palantir doesn't sell consumer apps, it doesn't chase flashy gadgets, and it doesn't depend on ad revenue. What it does is far more powerful and far more controversial. Palantir builds software platforms that allow governments and enterprises to integrate massive amounts of data, analyze it in real time, and make decisions faster than ever before. In a world moving toward AI-driven decision-making, that position matters. Palantir's core platforms, Gotham and Foundry, are not plug-and-play tools. They are deeply embedded systems that become mission-critical once deployed. Gotham is primarily used by government agencies, defense organizations, and intelligence services. Foundry is used by commercial clients to optimize supply chains, manufacturing, healthcare operations, and financial decision-making. Once a client integrates Palantir's software into their operations, ripping it out is extremely difficult. This creates sticky, long-term revenue streams that many investors underestimate. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Why do so many people hate this stock? First, Palantir went public with massive hype and then disappointed retail investors early on. The stock stagnated, insiders sold shares, and dilution became a constant complaint. For a long time, Palantir looked like a company with great technology but weak stock performance. That burned a lot of people emotionally, and emotional investors rarely come back easily. Second, Palantir's close relationship with government agencies makes some investors uncomfortable. This isn't a company building social media features or entertainment platforms. This is a company deeply connected to national security, surveillance, defense, and law enforcement. Some people see that as a moral red flag. Others see it as an unbreakable moat. Whether you like it or not, governments don't switch vendors easily, especially when national security is involved. Third, valuation. Palantir has often been accused of being overvalued relative to traditional metrics. High price-to-sales ratios scare value investors, and that criticism isn't completely unfair. But applying old valuation models to new generation AI and data infrastructure companies can be misleading. Amazon, Tesla, and Nvidia all looked overvalued before their business models fully matured. That doesn't mean Palantir will follow the same path, but it does mean surface-level metrics don't tell the full story. Now here's where things get interesting, and why I can't keep quiet anymore. Palantir has quietly transformed itself over the last few years. The company is now consistently profitable on a GAAP basis, something critics said would never happen. Revenue growth has stabilized, margins are improving, and free cash flow is real, not theoretical. This is no longer a promise someday company. It's an operational business generating real money. The biggest shift, however, is artificial intelligence. Palantir isn't just talking about AI, it has been building AI-ready infrastructure for years. Its artificial intelligence platform, or AIP, allows organizations to deploy large language models securely on private data without sending sensitive information to the public cloud. This is massive. Governments, banks, healthcare providers, and industrial companies cannot simply plug their data into public AI models. Palantir solves that problem. Think about what this means. As AI adoption accelerates, the biggest barrier isn't model intelligence, it's data security, governance, and integration. That's exactly Palantir's strength. While other companies race to build smarter models, Palantir focuses on making AI usable in the real world. That strategic positioning could pay off far more than flashy demos. Let's talk about the U.S. government relationship. Palantir continues to secure long-term contracts with defense and intelligence agencies. These are not short-term projects. These are multi-year commitments with high switching costs. As geopolitical tensions rise globally, defense spending is not shrinking. Governments are investing more in data-driven warfare, intelligence analysis, and predictive systems. Palantir sits right at that intersection. On the commercial side, Palantir's customer count has been growing steadily. More importantly, average revenue per customer is increasing. This tells us existing clients are expanding their use of Palantir's software, not abandoning it. That's a critical signal of product-market fit. Companies don't expand contracts unless they're seeing real operational benefits. Now let's address stock volatility, because PLTR is not for weak hands. This stock moves aggressively. It reacts strongly to earnings, macro news, interest rate changes, and AI sentiment. If you're looking for a smooth, low volatility investment, Palantir is not it. This is a conviction stock. You either understand the business and believe in the long-term thesis, or you'll be shaken out by price swings. Short-term traders often get burned on PLTR because they underestimate how emotional this stock is. Retail investors pile in on hype, institutions sell into strength, and momentum shifts quickly. Long-term investors need to separate price from progress. Volatility does not equal failure. In emerging tech companies, volatility is often the price of admission. Another misunderstood aspect is Palantir's leadership. Alex Karp is not your typical Silicon Valley CEO. He's philosophical, unconventional, and unapologetically focused on long-term impact rather than short-term stock performance. That frustrates traders, but it can benefit long-term shareholders. Companies that build foundational infrastructure rarely move fast in public markets, but they tend to endure. Palantir was co-founded with backing from Peter Thiel, a figure known for betting early on transformative technologies. That DNA still shows in Palantir's strategy. This company is not trying to win quarterly popularity contests. It's trying to become embedded into the operating systems of governments and enterprises. Now let's be clear, Palantir is not risk-free. Growth could slow, government budgets could shift, competition in enterprise AI could intensify, valuation could compress if market sentiment turns bearish. Anyone telling you PLTR is a guaranteed winner is lying. But anyone dismissing it as hype without understanding its business model is also missing the bigger picture. The real question is time horizon. If you're thinking in weeks or months, PLTR can hurt you. If you're thinking in years, and you believe AI-driven decision-making will define the next decade, Palantir deserves serious attention. This is a company positioned not at the edge of trends, but at the infrastructure level beneath them. Here's my bottom line. I can't keep quiet on Palantir stock because it's one of the most misunderstood, emotionally traded, and strategically important companies in the market today. It's not about hype, it's about positioning. It's not about headlines, it's about integration. And it's not about quick wins, it's about long-term dominance in data and AI operations. If you believe governments and corporations will rely more on real-time data, predictive analytics, and secure AI systems, Palantir is already there. If you believe AI will remain experimental and fragmented, then Palantir may not be for you. But ignoring this company completely could be a mistake many investors regret later. That's why I'm speaking up now. Palantir is no longer just a controversial stock. It's a proven platform, a profitable business, and a strategic asset in a world moving rapidly toward AI-driven decisions. Love it or hate it, PLTR deserves your attention.